Well, let's go over some of the attributes of the rifle. Alright, we'll start up here with the multi-fluted recoil check device, or muzzle brake. Now this is a patented design by Armalite, I believe. Has 3 flutes in it, or baffles. The first one has a greater radius in it, so this first chamber, for the most part, catches the gas initially, sending it back at an angle. Also has this deflection plate on both sides, helps to channel the gas in a specific direction, and also protects the shooter. Now, all 3 of these combined, it literally feels to a point like it pulls the gun forward. Now the forward 2, see if I can angle the light down here, as you can see, do not have quite as drastic of a radius, and just inside each one of these, there's kind of I don't know how to describe it. Basically, it kind of hooks back. See if you can see it. Also help diverting the gas. Now our barrel, this is a 30-inch heavy steel barrel, chrome lined, 8 groove, which gives it a 1 in 15 twist. That'll send something screaming downrange. And we're going to come down here to the bipod, since we're up on this end of the rifle. And this is an APA heavy-duty bipod. Now, there are 3 bipod options for the AR-50A1. The first is just a stud insert, and I'll show you when we disassemble the rifle. There's a slot under here that it slides into. Anyway, this is the APA bipod, the heavy-duty one. They also offer a bipod by a company named Prince, and then, as I said, just a standard insert that slides into the trough in the bottom, which just has a stud. You can mount your standard Harris bipod. Okay, now we'll go down the length of the stock here. Machined aluminum. Very sleek design to it. Now, this monopod on the back of on the stock itself, the butt stock, is also from APA. It's got a push button adjustment and a locking ring. That way you can, for the most part, level your rifle. It has an adjustable recoil pad designed for heavy calibers. You can see the 2 bolts there, and you can slide it up to whichever position. Okay, your cheek weld pad. Now, I'm going to flip over to the other side of the rifle, but this is one of the new designs on the AR-50A1. It's a push button bolt release. Over the one on the first AR-50s, which was just basically a set screw. I'm going to come around to the other side here. And I want to talk a bit about the stock and the receiver again. I'm trying to get down in here so you can see. Unfortunately, my lighting is not very good. Let me get down in here and see if you can. But the rear part of the stock is a V-block, which means the sides of the receiver are milled in the shape of a V. Sorry about the finger. The receiver itself is of an octagonal design, so when the action screws underneath are tightened, it beds the receiver down into a much more stable base over, say, a round receiver or even a block receiver. As you can see by looking down there, the forward part is what you would consider a free float. You know, no barrel weight onto the bipod, so that increases your accuracy. Now for the bolt itself, I'm gonna switch hands here. This is a massive bolt. I'm gonna pop up here, come over the top. So push that. It's fun doing it with one hand. I'm gonna pull a bolt out here. As you can see, very large bolt. Now, one of the refinements that have been done to the AR-50A1 as to the first AR-50s is this. The original AR-50, or the first AR-50s, the bolt lugs were of a more square design and had some issues for the most part of locking it in. You know, as you know, you're putting square into square. With this refinement, they have smoothed down the edges, angled them, so you have a much smoother locking system. And this is also what is known as a floating bolt. Rather than the one-piece shaft from the bolt face all the way back, this section in here, for the most part, floats within the main shaft. This also helps to absorb some of the recoil. Oversized bolt handle. Get it up in here, lock it in. I mean, this is as smooth as butter. And I have managed to put, I fired 12 rounds, you know, just to get familiar with the rifle. And the action on the bolt is just, it's phenomenal. I've shot a few bolt actions in my time, and I don't think I've come across the smoother action. So the stock itself back here, the butt stock, also is detachable. There's two machined bolts that screw into the other side, and I'm going to show you that when we take it down. It's got a single stage trigger. Each AR-50A1 comes with a 15 MOA sight base or optic base. A 30 and a 50 MOA are available upon ordering, or you can buy them separate if you so choose. So I think in a general way, I've covered most of the details of the rifle. This muzzle brake is outstanding. I'm going to get back to this for a minute. Just the way this thing is designed, there is almost no felt recoil, or at least not enough to, you know, you'd think you hold on and prepare for the worst, but honestly, firing this thing, I think my AR-10 has more of a punch. I don't know. I guess that's just me. So, alright. Next phase, I'm going to go over my optics and as to why and how. And then we're going to take the rifle apart and get it ready for transport out to the range.